Holy crap, look out! Look out, Floppy! Look out! Look, what are you doing?
I was making it look like you were saying the words, but they were coming from me.
You weren't doing that at all. Your jaw was spasming.
Well, I was trying.
Spasming.
You were doing a bad approximation of an 80s martial arts movie's overdub.
Yes, that's exactly what I was going for.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's bad. You're a bad man. Bad man Floppy. That's your name. I'm going to wear it out because it's bad. This is Hack the Dino. I'm Ben Rosenthal, one half of the brilliant podcast, Hack the Dino Gaming Cast. And I'm joined by someone who thinks this joke is funny to the podcast listeners, but all they can hear is as his big old lips smack together because he thinks he's being hilarious. Hey, Big Lips, why don't you introduce yourself without spitting everywhere?
Well, that's
Hey,
not
man.
very nice.
That's not a nice way to talk to Anto.
I wasn't. I was talking to Big Lips McGee, who's just over in the corner there.
Oh.
Hey, Big Lips. Hey, how's things,
Hey,
buddy?
Hey, Big Lips.
Hope your lips are...
Didn't see you over there. That was weird.
Try some collagen.
Beep.
There you go. Big Lips, everyone.
Big Lips. That's just Big Lips just trying to say
Yeah.
hi.
Yeah. Thanks, Big Lips. And we're also joined by Anto. Anto's back. He's here. He's ready for any assassination that you have, any assassination need. If you have someone who needs a good old dying, Anto's
I was
your
about
man.
to say a really bad... I was trying to think of a word for dying or murdering, and I was about to say boinking. And that doesn't work.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I'm
that's-
not up for that. That's prostitution, and I'm pretty sure that's
Only
not
if you get
legal
paid.
either.
Otherwise, it's just a great time.
But Anto, jack of all trades, really. You know.
I'm going to say jack off of all trades.
Well, I didn't know.
No.
So, Anto, who have you been jacking off / boinking / killing?
Jeff Kennedy.
Nice, good, well done. Yes, thank you for that. Appreciate it.
G.E.F. Kennedy.
I actually got that on one of my frequent killer cards. I had 4 assassinations. 5th one was free. So thanks for that, Anto.
That's all right.
So what are we doing here? What's the meaning of all this?
42?
Ugh.
No. 47.
No.
It's 40-something.
We are standing on a planet that's evolving and revolving at 900 million miles per hour. It's orbiting at 1900 miles a second, so they reckon.
I like
a
that.
sun that is the source of all our power.
When you have to think about something hard, one eye closes, the other one like rolls back into your head. It's really disturbing. Yeah, but it goes up like...
I actually think I got that off a doctor who used to do the same thing.
like caught it off of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was contagious.
It's called
It was
syphilis.
Oh,
Anyway, tonight we're talking about things that aren't
transmitted.
But also have something to do with the reproductive organs. Eggs.
No, that was last
No, that
show.
was last
We're
show.
talking
Last
about,
show? I get them confused.
but if you have some gems up there, they could be eggs
Yeah.
that you poop out to smuggle them into the country.
We're going to be talking about PS2 hidden gems. If you hadn't deducted, that's what Ben was talking about.
Now, I was talking about smuggling them up your clacksty.
Up your
Wow.
what?
Your clacksty.
This went real bad real quick, didn't it?
Why are you surprised? Why are you ever surprised?
I'm optimistic. You know me. I'm an optimistic guy. I always think things are going to go really well, and I always see the best in things, and then this happens every week.
Well, we're also going to be quizzing on your face. And we're talking about other things.
Retro challenge.
Retro. Oh, yeah, the Retro Challenge.
That's a thing that we do.
I've got some news. If you would like to follow the Retro Challenge, be sure to head on over to hackthedino.com and click on the TikTok or the Instagram. I often put up videos of when basically me goes out and does some hunting because
It's true.
these other two don't really send me any footage that I can edit.
Or
and put
have
up.
full-time jobs that don't allow to do that.
I have a full-time job.
Yeah, but you're
Yours
on
is
the
half
road.
as on the road.
No, only 1 day a week. I put the effort in.
You can drive.
Spend my weekends.
Don't have small children.
Neither do I. What's my excuse? Social anxiety and laziness?
Well, that's a more relevant excuse.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless you're the kids, you can take them with you. Hey, go find Dad some expensive stuff. Your little hands can get in those deep, dark crevices. Whoops. But Floppy,
Yes, mate.
we are currently 4 months into the $20 Retro Challenge. Now, do you want to explain to
Well,
the...
we're like 3 months in.
Well, it's the 4th month.
We're at the start of the 4th month, so we're 3 months, few days.
Can you explain to the new listeners and viewers and those who have
Sure.
horrible memento-like memory problems what the $20
tattoos.
retro challenge
Okay,
is?
so we took part. Well, we are taking part in a $20 retro challenge, which means in January, start of the year, Ben, Anto, Braden, and myself, we went out for a day.
Mm-hmm.
We all had $20 each, and we are to purchase things that we can either resell or trade up.
But it is a retro challenge.
But so it must be things from 2008 and before.
I know, because the definition of retro for us here at Hack the Dino and basically everyone is it has to be 15 years after release date. So
Which would make it 2008.
2008 or earlier. Continue.
And so we continue for the entire year to trade up or sell the things that we have found, adding no more money of our own, but only using what we get from the retro challenge.
That's right. So if, like, say,
You buy something for $3 and you sell it for $10,
you've made $7 profit.
you made $7, and you can add that to your kitty.
Yep.
Then at the end of the year, you find people in the chat at home watching can vote on the coolest item that has been found, traded for, or bought for by us, the hosts.
It's not the most expensive thing. It's not the
Because if it was the
amount of
most
things.
expensive thing, Ben would win.
Well, we'll get to that. But yes, it's the thing you think is the coolest item.
Yeah, the coolest.
Yeah. So let's kick it off.
You think the coolest is?
Exactly. Anto? So basically, I think the challenge will stop towards the end of November or halfway through November.
Sure.
We'll present our findings, and then it's November, half of November and December to vote because
Sounds
we need
good to
voting
me.
time.
Yes.
Anto,
Hello.
how are you going with yours?
I have $7 left of my initial 20 because I haven't sold anything else.
$7.
Yeah, I spent 12.
Oh, what have you purchased?
Hang on, wait. What did I spend 12?
No, you didn't.
You spent $3 on the Diablo book.
No, I have $17 left.
Oh, right.
There we go.
Cutting his lunch, mate.
Yeah, I bought the Diablo 2 strategy guide, like
On the
collector's
day.
guide, on the day. It hasn't moved. I'm just gonna bring it to the toy fair, see what happens.
So you can trade
Try
it for
and
something instead.
Make it for a bit of money or trade it.
Oh, someone in the chat, mate.
I-
So, oh, mate, Sino Patilk.
Sign up Tilk. I could sell it to Ben for $1,000.
You know, I came up with that joke like minutes beforehand, and I was trying to hold in the laughter, and I did it until you lost it.
I did message. I think it was you two in the Discord, in the host Discord. I think it was last week. I was like, I've got something for the retro challenge. I bought Yoshi's Woolly World on Wii U, and then I was like, hang on a minute, this came out in 2013.
That would have been good, though.
See, I was contemplating going, do we give it to him? But 2013 is too...
But to be fair, $45 game for $1.99.
It's not bad.
Very good.
Synoptic, maybe you should, after the show, shoot Anto a message through
Discord. Or Instagram.
Or Instagram.
Or Final Fantasy 14.
Or his OnlyFans account.
Yeah. Just don't... It's different kind of shooting that goes on there.
Yeah, it's only Fants, not only Fans. Thank you.
Yes!
Like it.
You better make that.
No.
That is now your OnlyFans account.
Yeah, only fans. Floppy, how are you going?
I'm doing okay. I started out with my 20. I bought a bunch of VHS.
The Beauty and the Beast VHS you bought.
So I traded 3 VHS for a Street Fighter game on the 360, the anniversary edition. I have recently sold that. So I'm doing good. I've still got some other VHS. I now found some Robotech graphic novels and books, one of which I've sold. So I'm now, when I receive the money for that one, I'll be sitting on $50 plus stuff to sell still.
Oh, that's great. That's really good. Braden doesn't
He's
have...
so patronising. Oh, that's really good.
I'm honestly trying to be supportive because
It's so cute.
No, I understand the position that everyone's in because I didn't even think that I would be in this position.
I didn't think you would either.
So I will go into my position at the moment.
I'm going to go on record and say I absolutely expected you to be close to this position.
So I will just sort of just give Braden's update. Braden said no meaningful updates. So last we heard from Braden is that they bought a record for $1 and sold it to their father for $2. So that's the kind of...
That's the meaningful progress Braden's been making.
Yes. So mine is long and arduous. I have been...
So it's mine, but for different reasons.
I have been keeping track of all my purchases and all my sales. I had to, quite frankly. And I say this in a non-brag. I'm being completely earnest
It's a
here.
humble
You
brag.
can't say this in a non-brag
I
way.
know
humble
I
brag.
can't, but I'm really trying to.
Just say it.
So, in a non-braggy way, I am trying to make sure that I keep track of everything. And I have been keeping track of it and giving updates in the newsletter, which I give a much more in-depth rundown. So, if you do want to see how I'm going, be sure to head on over to hackthedino.com. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram, where I put up videos when I go on my hunts. And also subscribe to the newsletter.
His lovely lady hunts.
Now,
That's a different one, actually.
as of previous week, so I believe I spoke about how I found a Digimon pendulum cycle, as well as 2 other Tamagotchis in a toy box in a disposal place. So it was a kid's toy box with heaps of stuff in there, and I bought that for $40. So just the 2 Tamagotchis and the Digimon pendulum cycle, I sold all 3 of them for $240. I spent $40 on them. So I made $200 profit there. At the Brighton markets, I purchased a box of cards for $10, and so far from that $10 box, I've made $65. So $55 profit there. And I realised I haven't updated this. But that's okay, I'll just go on to the main thing. So I went back to where I got the previously mentioned Digimon and Tamagotchis and decided to go through this kids' toy box again. It was obviously a kids' toy box from the 90s. I pulled out a couple of Looney Tunes figures, a couple more Polly Pockets, and then I found this handheld device. This red and silver...
went
yeah. And the red came off.
going to say.
Ooh. Kid show. No, it is a little handheld with a screen on it, and an LED screen, a pixel screen. So
LCD.
Sorry?
LCD.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I did a reverse image search on it, and it came up. It was a Pokemon digital scanner or something like that.
Digimon?
Pokemon.
Digimon, sorry. Digimon scanner. Something.
It's all a lie.
It was basically, the little Poke Walkers that you can get from Sword and Shield. No, Gold and...
Heart, Gold, and Soul Silver.
That's the one, thank you. Basically that, but for Digimon. So I looked it up and went, oh, that's what it's called. Looked it up on eBay and went, oh my goodness. So I quickly picked up a couple of other things, bundled them all together, walked up to the counter and said, oh, I'll grab these, please. And he goes, okay, I'll just look up on eBay to see how much they are. And I went, Anyway, long story short, I got the bundle for $30. This scanner, as well as some other bits and pieces. I put the Digimon scanner up on eBay. It sold last weekend. The auction ended for $820. $820. So eBay obviously took out their fee, which was $110, which left me with a profit.
Which you really can't be angry about at the with your markup on that.
So basically, something I bought for technically under $30, I made over $600, close to $700 off it, which brings my total at the moment to $1,377 from $20 from the start of January. So
The story on how Ben got that can be found by being a Patreon member.
I should actually.
Dylan in the chat, the fact that he's got a lot of money doesn't mean he's going to get anything cool.
That's right.
He could just end up buying a boring, shitty game.
No, I could buy something
That you guys get to. The cool thing is, you guys get to vote on it.
Exactly.
I might find something for $40.
Yep.
That trumps his $1,300 thing.
Exactly, and I'm going to keep going. I do have my eye on something. Those of you who do read the newsletter,
See,
Don't spoil it.
There's an elderly luxury cat.
I've got 3 of them. You can have one.
don't. For those of you who've read the newsletter and know what I'm aiming for, don't mention it. I want it to be a bit of a surprise. I do have my eye on something that I want to get, and I just have to wait for one to become available.
There's a surefire way of me winning, by the way, in the chat.
Oh yeah, and how's that?
All I have to do is buy a copy of Bounty Hunter, and Townsy assures I win.
No, no.
Yeah, that would be so funny because he would get so angry.
I don't care. I've got almost $1,400. Oh, by the way, I've got stuff that's already been sold, but I haven't collected payment from yet. So once I get the payment from those people, that'll be another $50. So I'll have over $1,400.
I've got a little thing to add to this, actually. So we were having a discussion before, and I have a moral or ethical quandary when it comes to purposely finding things cheap and then selling them for more. I don't like doing it.
That's what you get for having a soul.
I don't feel good about it. Like, I don't mind if I make a little bit of money. I don't like selling things for a lot that I found very, very cheap. The fact that I sold a book for $20 that I found for 50 cents, I feel a bit gross.
Scandalous.
I'm going to try to... Look at this guy's going like rookie numbers.
Got to put those numbers up.
I'm going to try and trade instead.
Ooh. Really?
Yes.
That you've just made it a lot harder.
I know.
And possibly a lot more meaningful at the end of the year when you present what you've managed to trade up to that level.
Correct. That's what I'm going to try to do. I don't
That's
know
not
how
bad.
well I'll go, but yeah, if you really like VHS, hit me up.
Do you know what my game plan is?
What's
Yep.
that?
As of right now?
What?
Sell all
It's
your Digimon?
No. It's to find something that you two think is the coolest thing, so I win the moral victory.
I always lose the moral victory.
I'm going to trade up to peace on earth and goodwill towards all.
I'm going to trade up to hopefully bring around the second coming of the Antichrist. So look forward to that. Floppy.
Very topical considering the weekend it is.
Yeah, oh my god.
It's fine. It's fine. He had
Yes,
it coming.
mate. All right, we got another...
You didn't know him. You didn't know him. You can't take offense.
I wasn't offended. I wasn't offended at all. We have a topic, though. We do have a topic. We're going to talk about hidden gems from the PS2 era.
Oh. Where were they hiding?
People's shelves.
Behind the couch?
Behind the couch.
Generally where things are when
Basically,
I can't find
games on the PS2 that you might not have played, didn't particularly sell super well, but I think, I won't say again, my hidden gems, things that I think are quite cool and worth playing.
Did you just say ladies and germs?
No. God. Hidden gems, you weirdo. Okay, now, I think I'd... Yeah. Do you want to talk about the first one?
Sure.
All right, you can talk about the first one.
I'll give you a hint. Warriors, come out and play. Talking about The Warriors by Rockstar Games. That was originally on the PSP before being ported to PS2. It's based on the 70s movie, with The Warriors being a prequel to the movie of the same name, depicting the origins of the street gang and looking at the larger-than-life characters in more detail.
Do you know this film?
I do. I
It's
do
such a good
enjoy this
film.
film.
Yeah.
Yes. It's the hero's journey, but through Gangland 1970s.
Yeah.
But their version of an apocalyptic semi-future. It's great.
Yeah, which is like gangs were everywhere.
Yep. And you're a part of the gang or you're nothing.
Yes.
The journey to meeting with Rift's leader, Cyrus, was handled by a brawler-style mechanic that let you take on the gang's various rivals in hand-to-hand combat. There are mini-games for stealing car radios, robbing stores, and spreading your gang's graffiti tag everywhere that capture... What have you written here? Tag everywhere that captures the feel of the movie while expanding on the original story.
Capture the feel of the movie.
Yep. Providing a deeper look at the warriors themselves.
I'm not sure if you can tell. Suck at writing.
I can tell numerous times. Cool game. I liked it. Enjoyed it. Fun time.
I never finished it. I really should go back and finish it.
I never finished it either, but that's not surprising for me.
I also like their outfits for the Warriors.
Yep, that is cool.
Very, very cool. Oh, yeah,
It's
vomiting.
Puking. That's a good time. Recommend puking.
But yeah, definitely a hidden gem. Like, it isn't one that I think it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way.
Right.
It's got a lot of that early GTA vibes when you are encouraged to do things like steal and graffiti and viciously beat people that were just vomiting.
Yeah.
But
That's
you know
how you-
what?
that-
it's all a
that's-
good time, really.
That's how you defeat the viruses in the stomach, in the bloodstream.
Yeah, by beating them with
Beat
fists.
them. Beat 'em out.
The actual combat was really quite, for a PS2 game, quite fluid. Like, it was really fluid. It was really quite...
No, fluid what was coming out that guy's mouth.
Oh, yes, that's right. But yeah, really quite quick-paced and just, like, it was fun. It was fun. So yeah, Warriors. Done. Have you played this, Anto?
I remember playing it when I was younger. We didn't get a PS2 for a while, so I played it at a friend's place.
Were you familiar with the film?
No, not at the time. I have since seen the movie. But yeah, when this came out, my opinion of it as someone who had a GameCube and was like, oh, well, this is the best system in the world.
Correct.
So much like now?
Nah, Dreamcast.
Okay.
Incorrect.
What was I saying? Yeah, so like my opinion of it was like it just felt like GTA and it wasn't really my thing. But yeah, I think I'd probably enjoy it more now.
That's a good game. Good movie too. All right, number 2.
Cool. Number 2 is Transformers. Now, this was out before the War for Cybertron and the Fall of Cybertron. They're on the PS3, 360. So most video game adaptations of Transformers before that and after that, let's face it, pretty bad. Except this one.
Like the movies.
So Melbourne House created the 2004 Transformers title on PS2. It was a very good game, arguably better than High Moon's games in the War for Cybertron and Fall for Cybertron. It was spread across a range of large open levels, which actually made use of vehicle modes. So you could pick from 3 different Autobots, Optimus Prime, Red Alert, and Hotshot, to go on some very challenging missions, with many ending in a difficult boss battle against a notable Decepticon, Starscream.
Why is
So
Optimus
much for
Prime at the Aztec temples?
Why would he be... Like, he doesn't have to just be in a city.
But
He can
sorry,
fly everywhere, all over the world.
So why
Are you asking
is-
me to remember the narrative? I
No,
don't
no.
remember.
So what I want to point out is that he's not really car size here.
No.
Like he's very human sized for someone who's also a big truck.
Yep.
Why?
Because it's a game and it doesn't matter.
Oh well, okay, good point.
It's an alien that's a robot that turns into a car as well.
Yeah, it's
truck.
freaking awesome.
It's
He
great.
He just needs to be able to stomp down those trees instead of running into them.
Now, each Autobot had strengths and weaknesses and a minicon feature, which was very cool. So minicons were tiny little collectible robots that could add sorts of user configurable powers to the heroes, grant better firepower.
Oh, so
defense.
buffs.
Yeah, essentially. Higher jump, so on. In the cartoons and things like that, the minicons would quite often turn into weapons
Right.
that then the bigger Autobot or Decepticon could wield, which was very cool. Or an engine, something like that could allow them to go faster, do better things. You could even equip a hang glider power that allowed a limited amount of flight.
Cool.
But yeah, very, very cool. A lot of fun.
Flying
it's one that I
trucks.
don't own.
Who
which
gives a
sucks.
flying truck?
Yeah, there you go. It's one that I don't own, and I would like to. So if you ever see Transformers 2004 on PS2, let me know.
Was
Toy
it?
fairs in a couple of weeks.
Toy Fair is in a couple of weeks.
Is it just called Transformers?
I believe, yeah, I don't think there was a tagline underneath it. I think it was just called Transformers.
Nah, the easiest way to find this one is to look for the Atari logo because they published
Yes,
it.
that's right. Published by Atari.
Okay, cool. I'll look for it when I'm out searching retro goodness.
Next one.
This one. Am I doing this?
Yeah, this is for you.
Okay, I've never played this one nor heard of it before. The
I've talked
Suffering.
about it on the show.
One of the most disturbing and violent action horror titles ever made, The Suffering was a great third/first person adventure that put you in the role of a convicted murderer, Torque, who allegedly murdered your wife and child. Torque is sent to Abbott State Penitentiary, which gets hit by an earthquake, unleashing all sorts of hellish creatures. The Suffering featured some great creature design, not surprising as they were created by Stan Winston,
Yeah.
the
how
makeup
cool is
effects
that?
master behind Aliens, Terminator, and Jurassic Park, which I watched today on VHS.
Which one?
First one.
Jurassic Park? Or, no, I mean, which out of those movies you just listed, which one?
Oh, sorry, Jurassic Park.
Okay, thank you.
I watched this morning on VHS while I was doing stuff in my games room.
Nice.
Each creature personified a method of execution used on the prisoners of Abbott State over the years.
So you can see the ones that have like blades, sort of like beheadings and things like that. Or
They were
there is
killed by
ones-
vampires.
There were ones that have like giant needles
Oh, cool.
that have it was terrifying. This was one of the first games that really scared the heck out of me.
Yeah.
And like the beginning of the game when you're in a jail cell and you come out of the jail cell and it's really atmospheric and all of a sudden you just see some legs get dragged up into an air vent. It was,
Nice.
nah.
Nice. There were some genuine scares, and the mixture of shotgunning creatures and solving various puzzles worked well, all supported by a good story. So, was it all a dream?
Yeah, was it Mario woke up at the end?
Yep, thought so.
Yeah.
Freaking Mario. Someone give him some NyQuil or something.
Such a good
Stop
game.
having nightmares.
Number 4, hidden gem on the PS2, Fahrenheit, also known as Indigo Prophecy. I can't remember where it was known as which, but it has 2 names. So Fahrenheit came from Quantic Dream, studio that made Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls. Like the later games.
What are they making now?
Quantic Dream, were they in process of making?
Yeah, they're in the process of making some high-end thing. I can't remember what it is. Anto, can you do a quick search to see what Quantic Dream are working on at the moment?
I can indeed. I apologise to the podcast listeners for the insane mechanical keyboard noises that are about to happen.
It was largely a glorified QuickTime event, but it also had a little more gameplay, and the story was intriguing enough to like draw you in. When your first moments in the game are spent hiding a dead body of your own handiwork before a police officer finds you, you know you're in for something a little bit special, and that's what Fahrenheit was.
Cool.
It was a game with plenty of depth in its story and interesting characters, and they made it a definite recommendation if you missed it. So if you've never heard of it, if you've never played it, it's definitely worthwhile, especially if you like Quantic Dream's other stuff.
Speaking of depth in stories, their next game is called Under the Waves.
Ooh.
Are they not working on anything else?
Not that I can see.
Oh.
Oh, wait, hang on. Working on 3 new games. Hang on.
Nothing. I mean 3.
Star Wars Eclipse.
That's what it is.
Which one?
Star Wars Eclipse. That big multi-MMO Star Wars game that'll come out in 20 years.
Yeah, that and Under the Waves and something else that I can't find a name for.
Cool. All right. Sweet. Next.
Next is you.
Oh, is it? Good. 13. Oh.
Hey.
One of the first cel-shaded titles, 13 took cues from Jet Set Radio, fantastic game, but was a first-person shooter set in a comic world. As the agent only known as 13, you had to progress through various comic-style levels to uncover a sinister conspiracy.
Dun, dun, dun.
The game was a traditional first-person shooter based on an 80 comics book of the same name. You play the amnesia-suffering protagonist accused of murdering the president.
Oh, sorry, wrong trailer.
And spend most of the game trying to clear your name.
He did that on purpose.
Finding out that you're actually a part of a group called the XX, which plans to take over the government.
How good does this look?
The action is slick, comic panel style, with kills popping up as separate panels. The core gameplay also mixed in stealth with silent weapons for covert kills, and a special sixth sense allow 13 to hear where enemies were via an on-screen tap 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 comic effect display.
Yeah, so it looks like when comics write their sort of sound effects on the panels, it looks just like that. It's so good. I now have this on PS2, GameCube, PS4.
I played the Xbox version, I think.
Yeah, I love it. Like some of the remakes did not get favorable reviews or anything like that. To me, I think it's a hidden gem. Like
You
love
liked
this game.
the remake, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I enjoyed it. I thought it had some quirkiness about it, which was like kind of janky, but janky in a quirky way.
Yeah, right.
As like little things, like if I was standing at a door and an NPC needed to be at the door, so the game made me all of a sudden just be standing on top of his head.
Nice.
Like just funny little weird things like that. It wasn't great. It wasn't game breaking or anything like that.
Cool.
But I love the cel shaded looks. I think they look awesome. I've always been a fan of cel shaded games, like Borderlands, Zelda, everything.
I was going to say, like, it's games like this and Wind Waker which prove
Wind Waker.
that, you know, overall, like, graphical fidelity is going to hit a point where we're not going to care too much, and it's going to come down to style.
Dude, I think we're already there.
Yeah, we're already there.
I
Where
think
you
we've
don't.
been there for a while, honestly.
I think Minecraft has definitely proven that you don't have to have the most amazing graphics to be a hit game that everyone loves.
Yeah, agreed.
And I think that sort of peaked with Wind Waker when people were up in arms that it wasn't a mature-looking game.
3D game.
Exactly. And then Wind Waker came out, and it's one of the best Zelda games out there.
How good do they use the comic book
it's pretty
panels
good.
in this? Like the kills and stuff. They're amazing. Sorry for the podcast listeners. When you kill someone, it pops up like little panels in a comic book, just for a visual reference of what you did to them.
This came out at a really good time for, like, console first-person shooters. Like, this came out, I think it was shortly after Halo or Halo 2.
Yes, correct.
And then, you know, there was another one called Black, where the bullet effects were really, really good for the time.
Yeah.
And another one called Dangerous Dave.
What?
So,
Is that a cousin of Serious Sam?
Serious Sam. I don't know why I thought it was Dangerous Dave.
Did you
Wow.
legitimately mix up?
I meant Serious Sam.
Dangerous Dave. That's my dad.
Dangerous. Anto, can you just look up Dangerous Dave and see if that was an actual game?
I'm afraid to see what will come up if I Google that.
I reckon it's a good game. I reckon
Give
it's
me-
a DOS
give me
game.
a second.
My dad, Dangerous Dave, with my mum, Joyful Jenny.
I reckon it was a DOS game, and I've just crossed wires because I'm old and tired.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my god, yeah, it was a DOS game. Dangerous Dave.
There you go.
All right.
See?
Done.
See, there you go. That's what happens when you get old, kids. Your brain starts to misfire, and you remember things not in the right order.
Wow.
Hazardous Hank, says Townsy in the chat. Next one. Next one was a...
most evil
Electrified
cackle.
Ethan.
what?
Oh, I don't know. I'm just coming up with stupid things happening to people with names.
I think he's lost it, mate.
So do I.
Okay, next one. So number 6 on the list. Oh, these are not in any specific order of which is cooler. There's a list of 10.
Yep.
Is
Numbers are good for SEO.
This one, The Thing. So one of my favourite movies of all time as well is
Quite rightly.
John Carpenter's The Thing.
Fantastic.
So this came out of nowhere, being a random video game of a 20-year-old movie. But The Thing was surprisingly good. Instead of focusing on the actual events of the movie, the game took place a few days afterwards, where a team of US soldiers were sent to investigate Outpost 31, which is where the movie was taking place, before venturing to other facilities as they discovered the truth behind alien invasion. The game used an AI teammate system, giving player character Blake plenty of allies. These allies were made up of engineers, soldiers, and medics, and their skills were used to progress through various locations. The film's focus on fear and mistrust was also used in the game to really great effect. Their characters would become infected, meaning Blake would have to find and enlist the services of other survivors. But if you also did things that looked too suspect, they would turn on you thinking that you were the infected one.
Nice.
The AI would have them turn on you and attack you. So you had to be careful at how you went out. You couldn't just run around with a gun handing out, firing at people, because they'd be like, well, he's clearly infected and crazy. Yeah. So that was cool. Where did I get up to? Blake discovered the truth, and after battling an army of alien beasts using guns, flamethrowers, and other methods, he located the alien ship and did battle with the big bad thing itself with the help of none other than Kurt Russell's MacReady.
Didn't he die, though?
Nope.
Yeah,
'Cause,
this canonized the fact that he survived and was just out here in the wilderness.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
it
really?
was kind of ambiguous.
No, okay. Because they had it, what's his name, who survived at the end? He doesn't have any hot air coming out when he speaks, whereas MacReady did. And that's sort of set up that he was the thing.
Yes.
I don't know. I read articles. Anyway, good movie. You should play the game.
It's fantastic.
Definitely watch the movie if you haven't
Definitely.
seen
Do both.
it. Dark Cloud. A definitive cult classic RPG. Dark Cloud mixed the genres of RPG and RTS into one package. And it was a unique and hugely enjoyable RPG, as well as a hugely enjoyable package.
Right, I'm drinking water.
I know, it was timed perfectly. As protagonist Ron, you had to face all sorts of procedurally generated dungeons fighting the forces of an evil genie in order to rebuild the world and its villages. Using his Georama mode, Georama! Sounds like a Pokemon. You could place various elements you acquire from dungeons, such as trees, houses, and so on, and rebuild the landscape, including the villages themselves. Can you, give them a tree arm?
Yes.
Or maybe if they have to go to the hospital, you can give them a triage. Once returned, villagers could then instruct Rowan on rebuilding the area, and once the village was complete, after meeting various requirements, you could proceed to the next village, advancing the quest. Dark Cloud used a weapon leveling system instead of a character leveling system. That's pretty cool. And the more a weapon was used, the more powerful it became. That's a really cool system. These needed repairing after a lot of use, and custom weapons could be created. That sounds cool. I like that. But again, I'm also the type of person who really enjoys the fact that weapons break in Breath of the Wild.
So, I don't.
I think weapon degradation... This is a stupid segue to go on, or tangent is the better word. Weapon durability needs to be a thing, because if not, you're just going to be
OP.
sitting and dropping weapons all the time and picking up new ones and trying to manage your inventory too much. It's fine.
Yeah, no, and I think it exposes you to lots of different weapons. Like when I
Makes
play a
you
game,
experiment.
I get a weapon, a sword, and I go, yeah, this is my sword. I'm going to use this sword. Oh, it's the Master Sword. I'm going to use this sword. And then you just don't experience any of the other gameplay.
Yeah.
I'm fine with
fair.
it. I'm
Now,
fine
you
with it.
played the heck out of this, didn't you, Anto?
I'm still trying to convince Coda to play it because it's... I've tried to sell it to her by saying this is like Final Fantasy meets Stardew Valley, and that's a really, in my mind, a really good way to put it.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh,
Is this an expensive game?
nah, not now.
No, okay.
It used to be quite pricey. I picked up my copy when I was in the UK. I spent the equivalent of about $130 on it.
Wow. Back when?
2011, 2012.
Wow.
I'm not telling you what I paid for mine then.
No, go on.
Now you can pick it up for maybe, if you're lucky, $30, $40.
Floppy.
Less than that.
Oh wow!
But I did get an ex-rental copy, so it has got the rental sticker and stuff on it. And the book inside is like taped to the case.
Yeah, so you don't lose it, buddy.
Yeah, but
That's what I do to all my Nintendo manuals. I stick them all to the cases. On the outside as well, so I can reference it easy.
Cool.
All right, next.
All right, next one
Next.
is.
Next.
Oh, next one is Everblue. This has got a pretty case. That's not the only reason that you should play this
blue.
game. It is blue. It's Everblue.
It's
quite nice to check
beautiful.
out. So it's a first-person game set underwater. Think Abzu meets Subnautica, but 15 years beforehand.
I do not rate Absu that highly, but anyway.
Well, you don't have to. You just got to rate this one highly.
Okay.
The player takes the role of a scuba diver, salvaging items from sunken ships and photographing underwater wildlife, while either avoiding or confronting predators like sharks. The game also features an inventory system for collected objects, healing items, weapons, and tools, as well as an above-water town with shops and NPCs. So you can actually get out and upgrade things and buy new gear and stuff like that. But it really does have that Abzu part where it's more like an exploratory and quite serene.
Mhm.
But then you have some puzzles and some areas, and there are predators, of course. But
Like
yeah,
sharks.
like sharks and other predators.
Big
things in
sharks.
it, yeah. But it's just really cool. It's a really cool. It has quite, like I said, there's some very relaxing, very chilled vibes to it, and then there's some not so parts,
Not so parts.
not so chilled parts. But yeah.
All right, next. Number 9, Dropship United.
This is a weird one.
It is. But it's cool.
Dropship United Peace Force is a combat flight sim released exclusively for the PlayStation 2. You assume the role of a pilot in a United Peace Force, a fictional multinational military organization charged with combating terrorism and organized crime across the world. The game itself is set in 2050 and features a number of futuristic aircraft, including agile fighters, a slower transport aircraft. Oh,
That was and slower transport aircraft.
yeah.
I thought they were Doom Marines for a second.
Well, look, it's got very Halo vibes as well.
The game also features levels where you drive military vehicles such as armored personnel carriers. Unlike many science fiction fight simulator games, Dropship is set in the near future, and the vehicles and weapons, although futuristic, are grounded in reality and bear many recognizable traits of modern military aircraft. The game has missions where you must fly low and be spotted, protect vulnerable craft, and deliver/pick up valuable cargo. Another feature of the game is the VTOL ability
Vitol, yes.
of most of the game's aircraft, allowing you to switch and hover mode and land the aircraft manually.
That is, of course, VTOL for
I was
vertical
going to
takeoff and
say,
landing.
for the plane nerds, it's VTOL.
Yes.
Vertical takeoff. Where's and? You don't include. It should be VTOL.
It's vertical takeoff landing.
Well,
There you go.
I don't agree with that. Military.
You don't have to, luckily, not being in the military. All right, last one for tonight's Hidden Gems on the PS2
Hitting gams.
is another movie tie-in. But no, you know what? It's not a movie tie-in.
It's the Page Master.
It's a movie tie-in.
It's Enter the Matrix.
If it's not a tie-in, it's a cash grab.
No, it was neither. It was planned as the full part of the story when they wrote the movies, the Animatrix, and the comic, and this game, all written together to be a complete story.
Sorry, just another acronym I need to get straight.
Okay.
Michael Townsend in the live chat has just said Ben Fubard, that one. Is that effed up beyond all reasonable doubt?
No.
No.
Fubar is effed
Effed up beyond all recognition.
recognition.
I like mine better.
Snafu is situation normal, all effed up.
No, that's
Why
what
are we
Han-
not swearing now? We swear every other
That's
time.
what Han Solo said in Star Wars.
Snafu.
We're all good. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you? Anyway, Matrix.
Yes, and the Matrix, it gives you control of 2 characters from the Reloaded and Revolutions movies, Ghost and Niobe, members of the same group of rebels as Morpheus, Trinity, Neo. Niobe is the captain of the Logos, the fastest ship in the rebel fleet. Ghost is the ship's first mate. He's a weapons guru and a deep-thinking philosophical assassin. The game takes place at roughly the same time as the events in Reloaded, so you play as either Niobe or Ghost, each of whom have slight variations during their story. Most levels involve controlling players in a third person using guns, fighting skills to defeat opponents, complete level objectives, yada yada. At any time, players can activate bullet time, which slows down time, giving players the ability to perform actions such as shooting in midair, dodging bullets, and stuff like that you see in the films. Some levels involve one-on-one fighting against single opponents in levels involving vehicles, such as driving a car or piloting the Logos. The style of the gameplay depends on the selected player. Commonly with Niobe maneuvering the vehicles to avoid obstacles, and Ghost will take control of gunfights in oncoming enemies. A hacking system allows players to enter codes which can unlock special skills, weapons, and secrets, such as a 2-player versus mode, which I never tried.
Anto was talking about how you fight as a truck.
Yeah, you can play as like a civilian or a police car. It's so stupid.
It's weird.
If I was in the Matrix, I'd be a police car.
No, you wouldn't.
Would you?
You'd be a
What?
Agent.
karate bus.
I would be happy with being an agent, actually.
You would.
That'd be cool.
But yeah, there you go. That is my PS2 hidden gems for this time around.
Speaking of hidden gems, it's time to polish up those gems because it's time to quiz on your face. You're ready for the quiz? Yeah, you know what it is.
I forgot to bring my glasses.
I have 4 multiple choice questions here based in video games depths of scurvy. And I will ask them one at a time and give you 4 options as to what the correct answer is. 2 are from me, 2 are from our fine high-end Patreons, Michael Town and Dylan the Villain.
Thank you.
I
Michael
will now read out to you the scorecard. Jazz is on 2, Anto's on 3, Braden's on 3, Floppy's on 10.
Yes.
So, Anto, you did win last year by the skin of your hairy teeth.
My teeth aren't hairy.
Sure, that's why you
I was a
combed.
misogynist last time I was here. Now I've got hairy teeth. What's next?
Weird visual.
You should just not comb them as much as you do. Maybe shave the teeth. Just shave them. It's quite distracting. Give them a good wash. Anyway, first question here is from Michael Towns.
All right.
And Townsy asks.
Oh, you know what? For those who haven't watched before, Ben will read out multiple choice answers. We're not allowed to buzz in with our names until he's finished the last answer.
Correct. You have to wait, Anto, until I finish the last multiple choice question.
I'm English, thank you very much. Synoptic, not British.
Wow.
Isn't that...
No, I'm from England.
Yes.
Oh, well, okay. Is England not included in the British Empire?
Yeah, it is. But
No,
the
I'm
Scots don't
legitimately
like
asking
it.
now. I
The
don't know
Scots
if that's
like
not
it, neither
kosher.
do the Welsh.
Oh, okay. He also says, wax them teeth.
I'm European.
And then
Screw you
Townsy
all.
says, with this landing strip.
Okay, let's just ease off Anto. That's my job to give him a hard time.
He's
That's
so
what she said.
good at it.
In the lyrics to the original Nintendo 64 version of the Donkey Kong 64 intro theme,
It's this music question that's not fair.
the DK rap, how many times is the word Kong used? Is it A, 14, B, 18, C, 22, or D, DK Donkey Kong? He's the leader of the bunch. You know him well. He's finally here to kick some tail. He's bigger, faster, and stronger too. He's the first member of the DK crew. DK
Ben.
Donkey Kong. No, you have to wait till I finish. DK.
No, this isn't me buzzing in.
Yep.
I zoned out because I was trying to count in my brain how many there are.
Okay.
And I do not remember what you said the options were.
14, 18, 22, or DK. Don't know. I won't go into a DK.
14, 18, or 22. Did you buzz in?
No.
Floppy.
Floppy?
14.
Correct.
Damn it.
So that's 11 for Floppy. Now we laugh, but you were on a big lead last year, and then Anto came from behind and beat you by 1 in a tiebreaker.
I legitimately thought I had it locked in.
Yep.
Like, I was super confident.
Yep. Okay, here we go. In 1995, Windows 95 was the second most installed program on computers. What was the first? Was it A, Wolfenstein 3D, B, Doom, C, the Flying Toaster Screensaver, or D, Strip Poker 3D?
Anto.
Before, I was about to ask, what was the year again?
95.
Anto?
Doom.
You are correct. Anto,
Well done.
Anto gets one. Did you know that, Anto?
Mhm.
How did you know that?
Because Doom works on everything.
Including calculators and
Yeah.
fridges.
And incidentally, Strip Poker 3D for Windows 95 is a real game. Don't ask me how I know that.
Is it the
Yeah,
one with Samantha
it's-
Fox? I mean, I don't know.
Not that you're running it in DOSBox on this computer. It's fine. I haven't seen that.
No, I'm running a box, all right. Next one is from Dylan the Villain.
All right. Notorious for trying to stump us.
Notorious. Let's see if Dylan can do it this time.
Got it last time.
Dylan asked, how many games were officially released for the failed Virtual Boy console?
For the what?
Failed Virtual Boy console.
Man.
Was there 16, B 20, C 22, or D 64?
Floppy.
Floppy?
22.
Yes. How did you get that?
I knew it was 20-something or 20.
I'm guessing this is based on ones that were released here and in the West, not Japan exclusives.
You'll have to ask Dylan.
Okay, cool.
And also, only because I may have looked up a Virtual Boy thing.
Oh, that's
literally
not fair.
this week due to having a conversation about one. That is fair. That's life. I didn't know that was coming.
And me purchasing it. Okay, here we go. Last question.
That's fine.
This one's for you, Anto. This one's got you written all over it.
Oh, really?
This is Anto 101.
Is it about A Bug's Life on PS1?
Yep. How'd you guess?
Well,
Good, because that was my favourite game on PS1.
Who voiced Stargazer in Mass Effect 3? Was it A, Buzz Aldrin, B, Leonard Nimoy, C, Troy Baker, or D, your mother?
Wait, Stargazer, as in the kid at the end of the game?
Who voiced Stargazer in Mass Effect 3? Buzz Aldrin, Leonard Nimoy, Troy Baker,
Anto.
or your mama? Anto?
Troy Baker.
Incorrect.
Floppy.
Floppy?
Leonard Nimoy.
Incorrect.
Ah, bugger.
Anto.
Buzz Aldrin!
Wow.
There you go.
I
He's
thought
still
that was going
alive.
to be like a joke answer as well.
Like your mother. Yeah, your mother.
No, I said
Voiced
as
it.
well.
Oh, okay. I got the characters confused. Stargazer is the adult talking in the credits scene at the end of the movie after everything happens. Yeah, no, I'm an idiot.
And just to clarify, Dylan the Villain in the live chat has said the number of the Virtual Boy games is a combined both Western and Japan.
Okay, cool.
So he went all in. All the games that came out in that horrible, headache-inducing console that I love so much because it's so awful and can't play. But we've been Hack the Dino. This has been our gaming cast. We bring you the past, present, and future of video games news, previews, and discussions. I didn't say that at the start of the show. I probably should have, considering we've had lots of new people, new faces, new personalities popping up in the chat. Thank you very much for listening to our words with your ears and eating them like some kind of crunchy cereal. Be sure to put some milk on that, otherwise it'll get stuck in your throat and probably give you cancer. Floppy, when you're not getting cancer, what else do you do?
I'd like to thank the fine Patreons.
Good. I'm glad you read that.
I do like to thank the fine patrons we have that support us and help us achieve this show. So I'd like to throw our thanks out to Ash Knight, Karen Knight, Dylan the Villain, Triple Indy, Mike Towns, Game Boy Dad.
And of course, these are the Patreons who subscribe at that level. If you want to subscribe at a lower level, not necessarily have us forget to read your name out every show, but just want your name scrolling down the bottom, you can do that for as little as $2 a month and help us keep these mics on. Because let me tell you, our computer is a painful thing that needs constant repairs.
Basically bandaged.
Yeah.
I think it's your internet that's the problem more often these days.
Well, that too. We probably need to look at that. Floppy, what else do you like to look at?
I like to look at games and paraphernalia that I have purchased and
where can I
plan
look at
to
that?
play. You can look at it at Floppy Plays Games on Instagram.
Oh, really? Can
You
I?
can.
Thank
You
you.
can, you can.
Awesome.
I've even done a couple of posts in the last 2 weeks. First one, I got a physical copy of Fortnite.
That's cool. I've got an Xbox version of this.
So I don't know if everyone remembers, but Fortnite came out originally physically in I don't know, what was it, 2017?
Yep, and it was a really poor sort of like...
It was
Tower
mainly
defense.
a single player combat, and then the
no, it was a tower defense game.
tower defense, yeah, and then the the Fortnite that we know and love today was an afterthought, basically.
It was a rip-off of PUBG. And it was, in story lore, it was the characters in the game Fortnite going into a training simulation and using all the weapons and coming out as number one. But then that took off, and they've basically just gone, that other Fortnite doesn't exist anymore.
So it did not take long. I want to say months until Fortnite itself, the physical version, was off shelves.
Yeah, well, the biggest mistake that they made, PUBG made, was the guy that created PUBG put out a press release and complained about how Fortnite stole his idea and how they've done this and how they've done that.
And it gave them free publicity.
Free publicity, and people, all right, well, I'll try that. And because it was fun, it wasn't gory. There was no. It
was not
blood.
adult.
Yeah, it was just a fun time, and people turned to pixels after they were shot. Amazing game. Fortnite is where the metaverse is headed. That's what it's going to be.
Other things that I picked up, the last one was I had a really good Resident Evil pickup. So thanks to Ben for the heads up. He gave me the heads up on the Resident Evil 4 Collector's Edition for GameCube, which is something that I've wanted for a long time.
Yeah. Did you have both discs in that?
Yes.
Oh, excellent.
So I started chatting to the fellow that was selling that, and we got to chatting, and he found out how much of a Resident Evil fan I am. So he threw in some Resident Evil Outbreak, Files 2, and Original, which is predominantly an online game, but you can play it offline with AI allies. Because servers for that got turned off a long time ago.
AI allies?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he also threw in a bunch of Resident Evil comics for me as well,
That's
which was really cool.
Yeah.
It pays to be nice and chat to people. There you go.
Yeah.
So I was really stoked about that. That was great.
It was a good pickup. Anto, what do you
Hello.
do?
Well, weirdly enough, I've actually updated my Instagram.
Oh, really? Let's have a look.
I went for coffee with Coda. I will be doing more of this. This was from Giro Espresso.
Oh, Giro Espresso, good place.
So they
coffee
use
is that?
the fabled Black Market coffee. So Black Market coffee. Fantastic stuff. I apologize if she's watching. I can't remember her name, the barista who made the coffee. Fantastic job. She's not been there long, from what I understand anyway.
I especially like the gravity-defying mugs.
Yeah, super gravity defying. And look at the artwork. Super good.
Yeah, it's very good. Very well done.
But yeah, the most recent thing on my Final Fantasy Instagram is a video clip of me doing stupid voiceover to Tidus kicking balls at people.
Or kicking people in the balls. That's terrifying.
It's pretty funny. But yeah, I will be updating all of the collection stuff that I've been picking up over the last 6 months because it's been a long time since I posted.
I believe you've got some cool Final Fantasy stuff.
I have some very cool Final Fantasy stuff to show off.
I've got a big Final Fantasy thing.
Yeah, so I'll do that this weekend, I think. So if anyone's interested, it'll be there. Other than that, not a whole lot.
Cool. Well, I have a couple of Instagram accounts. Firstly is my Mr. Benjamin one, Instagram.com/Mr. Benjamin, where I put all my video game collections and pickups for insurance purposes. Basically, my house burns down, I'm in trouble. So this is record for me to go to the insurance company and say, see, here, look, I had all this stuff. So I picked up Kid Icarus yesterday.
Really hard to find now.
Really hard to find, and goes for about $120 to $140 now. Stupidly rare game to find. And so this and Metroid Samus Returns, the remake of Metroid 2, are becoming ridiculously expensive, especially because the eShops just closed down. So people cannot play it now unless they have it downloaded or they want a physical copy. And because this didn't have a lot of copies out in the wild because it didn't sell terribly well, this is becoming a harder to find game. So this was a little bit more expensive than I would usually spend on a DS game, but it was one I knew if I don't get now, the chances of me ever getting it are very, very slim.
Do you have the stand?
No, it was just the cartridge. It was just the game.
I know a guy that has the game and the stand boxed.
I was talking to one of my fellow collectors who got this when Target were throwing them out for $5 each.
Oh my god!
Complete.
I have a question.
Yes.
Why do you think this didn't sell well?
Because Kid Icarus isn't a brand name or a Nintendo property that is very well known because they pretty much ignored them for a good long time. This was like
Game Boy,
the resurgence, and just didn't sell because it's not known outside of Smash Brothers, really.
That was going to be my next sort of follow-up, and I asked this completely not facetiously to be a dick about it. Do you think it has anything to do with how badly this game plays?
Yes.
Because I couldn't play this for more than maybe 20 minutes at a time because of a
rotoscope,
scheme.
isn't it?
I think you could use motion controls, but it was you move with the left.
way of filming.
Yeah.
Gyroscope. There you go.
Gyroscope, that's the one.
But you also have the control scheme where you could use the analog stick and the stylus to aim and shoot and stuff.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get on with either of it, so I sold my copy.
I think that's the MO. Like, honestly, it's not a game that I'll play very much of. I'll give it a go once or twice, but I doubt it'll find a permanent rotation outside of Chrono Trigger when I'm playing that.
It's a shame because, like, visually for a 3DS title and like a reasonably early one, fantastic, looks stunning, plays really well, has some cool mechanics. It's developed by Sakurai, so like, you know, it's solid all around as far as development is concerned. I just feel like it would benefit from being on the Switch now with proper controller support like Twilight Princess got, but better implemented. Not Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword. There you go.
Also, you can see there, obviously, the pickups that I talked about last show. There's the van that I grabbed because it's cool and fun and full of happy times. And also, I picked up Pac-Man. Again, I paid a little bit too much for that, but it's $20 less than what it was going for, and I didn't have it, so now I do. And then, of course, that monster haul I got previous to last show where I got Metroid Zero Missions, Metroid
that was insane.
Fusion, Street Fighter Alpha 3, and Final Fantasy Tactics, as well as the 2 Game Boy Advance Fire Emblem games for under $300. Yeah, $2,500 worth of games there for under $300 was great. And they are beautiful, beautiful. Anto was even looking at First Mission before and said you could send that off to get, CG'd. But I refused to do that.
Yeah,
Because
I don't agree with it, but if you were to get that graded, it would score very highly. That's really, really good condition.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also a fun little side project called Bad Game Arts. This is where I find
Leisure Suit Larry.
the worst game art to appear in the 90s and early 2000s. I don't know
what that is.
what this game is, but it's called Bob's Bad Day.
Is it because Bob seems to be a disembodied head?
It could be because Bob's fingers are toes for some reason.
Oh, he's
I
got
hadn't
toe
even noticed
hands.
that.
Yeah.
He's got tingers.
Yep.
Even his palm looks like a heel.
He's also being attacked by 2 black spheres, and I think that's the coronavirus in the background there.
The one up the top.
Yep.
This one here.
So yeah, that's some good old bad game arts. Remember, bad game arts with an S. What else we got there? We got Bad News Baseball.
I'm sorry, that is bad B news base B ball.
From Temco. This game features a boys mode and a girls mode. So there you go.
Product of its time.
And you can, I think, play as a rabbit or a catcher who's eating a hot dog because he's quite a burly lad. Like this game cover is filled with so many outdated stereotypes. My head almost imploded. And finally,
I love this game.
Leisure Suit Larry. Yes.
Part of my childhood, this.
Now, you might not be able to see it, Floppy, but Anto, can you see in the bottom right-hand corner, that lady, her left eye? What's going on there?
Her left eye or the one on the left that we can see that is her right eye?
Whatever. It's the one that's looking wherever.
The one that looks weird?
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it's like she's meant to be looking up and to the diagonal.
Yep.
But instead, it's like centered and almost looking at you.
Yeah, it's quite creepy, as is every Leisure Suit Larry game. Full of creepiness.
Hey.
Yes?
I know that picture.
Because I took it of your box up when you bought it here one time.
That's my goddamn game. It's got hint book included written on it as well.
That contains hint book.
That's mine.
Yep.
Royalties.
Sure. With all the money Bad Game Arts makes, I'll give you a cut of 2%.
You've got 107 followers. You're eligible for it.
For what?
Monies.
Nothing.
Eligible for what? I'm a big old influencer. Oh, and you may have missed it last time, Anto, but remember when we asked Jazz to comment on Bad Game Arts last time?
She pointed out how good they all were.
Jazz, because she's an artist, goes, oh no, it's really, really hard to make good art, so I'd rather look at the nice things. And she's a ray of positivity, which explains why she's with me. It's a great balancing out.
It's a karmic thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yin and yang.
So if you bring that back, Anto, I purposely went in the next day and found the worst game art I could possibly find and asked Jazz to comment on that, and she refused to. It's there, that Gump one.
Oh, Gump. Gump was a great
Rallo
game.
Gump.
Rallo Gump.
So what can we find that's positive about this abomination?
I like the colours.
Well, they certainly are colours. I like the demented shark down the bottom.
This penguin, amazing. I love him. I want to name him Gunter and keep him forever.
He also looks high as fuck.
There's a free game included.
Is it called Rallogump?
Eyeball?
And good to see the old Twitter birds up there. He's got a job now that Elon sort of shifted him away.
Yeah, that's it's a bit conspicuous that it's red. Hey.
Anyway, that's Bad Game Arts on Instagram. Be sure to give us a follow there because, look at his spine, that dude's spine.
Such a
his
good
pecs.
game, though.
Really?
Yeah, Fantasy Star's great.
Yeah, too bad about the cover. But we've been Hack the Dino. You've been you, which is great. I say that a lot, but it is great that you're you because if you're not, you're someone else. And if you're someone else, then...
You might be Ben, you don't want that.
No, you don't want that because I'm so awesome that the world couldn't possibly contain the combined awesome energy. We'd render it asunder. Asunder. Do you know what asunder means? It means obliterated. Absolutely destroyed.
Ooh, rough.
To put it in context, I ripped that hole asunder. I was really hoping you'd cut off the stream before that.